So, I mean, we'll write it as that, because the reason we'll write it as that is that we can remember it from S and S, yeah? Somatic and sexual, yeah? So you could also say that this is for, sorry? Growth. Yeah, absolutely. Or we could call that regeneration, yeah? So we've got an R, and we could say that this is for reproduction, yeah? So already you know a lot about mitosis and meiosis. Yeah? Well done. So, what else do you know about mitosis and meiosis? Anything at all? Don't try and tell me anything clever, just tell me anything you know about mitosis or meiosis. Mitosis is about single cells? Sorry? Ah, okay. Single cells, yeah? And single step. Yeah? It's always nice to write things in ways that you might remember. So single cell, single step. You guys know quite a lot. Yeah? You could teach me this. Yeah? So tell me about a diploid human cell. How many chromosomes does a diploid human cell have? Don't be shy, because if you got it wrong, then we'll correct you. If you got it right, then we'll all go hooray. 46? Well, what has a diploid cell got? 46, 23. Which one? Huh? What's and we know that, don't we? Because when the chromosomes line up, you've got 23 pairs. Yeah? Do you remember that? Okay. So we've got that. Okay. So do we all understand what diploid means? A diploid cell has how many chromosomes? Yeah, 23 pairs, which is 46. So a haploid. Do you know where the word haploid comes from, don't you? What does that mean? Is that half? Half. Haploid. Yeah? So a haploid cell has how many chromosomes? It's easy, isn't it? Yes. Yes. We've already written the answer down on the board, yeah? Okay, good, good. Tell me the next thing you know about mitosis or meiosis.
Any represents a gene. Now here we just have a few genes, but in a human cell we're going to have thousands of genes on each of the chromosomes. And so this is a very simplified model. You can imagine if this is a human chromosome, my whole board would be filled with these chromosomes. And so this is a very simple model. So this one right here from Dad and this one from Mom are what are called homologous chromosomes. And what that means is that they have the same length, but they don't necessarily do the same thing. What does that mean? Chromosome 1 from Dad and 1 from Mom are going to be exactly the same length, centromere is located in the same thing, and the genes will be in the same spot. So for example, if this is the gene for blue eyes, this would be where the other gene for blue eyes is. And so you may be asking yourself, well, how are they different then?
Okay, good, good. Yeah. You can write anything you like about them, anything you can remember. What have we learned today? What time is it? So what have we learned today? Tell me one thing that you have learned this evening. It could be about this, it could be about anything in the world. But what have we learned? What have you learned? One thing. What have you learned? One thing. What have you learned? learn? One thing. The difference between mitosis and meiosis. Yes? Okay. What have you learned? The steps. Mitosis and meiosis. What have you learned? Yeah. What have you learned? The difference between the two divisions. And the similarities. The stages, that there are stages. So there are lots of things. But you remember some of the basic things, yeah? That one is for regeneration and one for growth. Which is regeneration? Okay. Which one is about difference and which one? Yeah, good. Okay. All right. Give us another quick fire question. You ask the rest of the class a question.
Sexual.
Which is sexual, he says. He says, which is sexual? Which is sexual? Yes. Okay, you ask them a question.
One difference of Meiosis and Mitosis. One point of the difference of
one is duplicate and for the male is different.
Okay, but you give them one. Ask the rest of the class a question.
Which one has no crossing over between Mitosis and Meiosis?
Which one has no crossing over? You're very quick. Go on, ask them a question.
What's the meaning of
Oh, she's getting her own back now. She's seeing if you've learned her point.
the crossing over of the chromatids?
Crossing over the chromatids. And what was the example that Jean de Moore gave of chiasma? Yeah. The optic chiasma. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, ask a question of the group.
Which has the diploid and which has haploid?
Okay, so which has diploid and which has haploid? As the end result, as the outcome. Which is diploid and which is haploid?
Is for mitosis, haploid is for meiosis.
Did you give the right answer? Well done. Ask them a question.
which one between those two division, which one produces more cells?
Which one produces more cells?
For the mitosis is less, for meiosis
How many cells?
two
Two?
and 4 cells.
Great. And John de Moore, you ask a question of the group?
The question is, so, like, one of the divisions is concerned with somatic cells. Which one is that? Somatic cells.
Somatic is in mitosis.
Sorry?
So remember, we've got the S's again. We've got somatic and sexual. Yeah, just as a way to remember them using the words. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you understand mitosis and meiosis? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know one of the ways that you're going to remember mitosis and meiosis is that you will remember today? Yeah? You will remember today. You remember that Jean de Moore was standing in the corner with a camera. You remember that Jean de Moore had to ask you a question and he was taken by surprise. You remember that he had that. You remember that he had to look up chiasma. You remember that you told me all the information before we started. Yeah? You'll remember that we stood behind each other and pulled apart. Yeah? And that's what learning is about. It's about doing different things to help you remember. So when you guys learn together, then you draw pictures, you stand up and you move about. you get some beads or some bits of paper. Yeah. And you try and remember differently rather than just reading. Yeah?
Yes.
So you make the learning come alive. There's no reason, based on my meeting with you today, there's no reason why you shouldn't pass your exams. Yeah? You're clever, articulate people. And you must go on and be really successful. Yeah? Yeah? Do you agree? But you've got to put in the work, you've got to keep studying. But one of the good ways is to study together, to help one another understand. And always bear in mind the questions that might be asked of you when you're preparing something. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much.